D.R.E.A.M life. It stands for Delivering Resources to Empower a Mother's Life. I had a son 3 years ago. He's 3 years old right now. I was like 22 at the time, and I was transitioning from that, like from school to motherhood and things like that. So I started doing a lot of volunteer work, and in that I really liked helping the community, so I kind of wanted to start my own organization. And young moms, I really had a passion for that as I had become one, so I wanted to create a center where young moms can be independent and stable and accomplish their dreams in life. So that's how it came about. We put out a call on different sites, various sites online, and right now we're in the middle of a campaign for domestic violence awareness. It's called Hearts Beat, Love Doesn't. We had a youth summit on October 3rd, and then today is the awareness hour. So I wanted the awareness hour to be more intimate, just a conversation from victims and former abusers and survivors, just to share their personal stories. So they just came out of their hearts and reached out to me pretty much and said that they wanted to speak on topics.
I was kindly invited by Christina, and it's truly is an honor because I am a survivor, 25 years plus, and I'm hoping through sharing my story that I will change somebody's life, make a difference, because abuse happens every second of the day. As we speak, someone is being abused, and we need to put a stop to it. Enough is enough.
I actually found out about the event on Craigslist, and I had originally emailed her a while ago to see if I could help put it together, but it was right when I first moved to Northern Virginia, which is more of a hassle than I expected, so this is actually the first time I'm meeting her right now.
I had the opportunity of being asked to come as a guest speaker to speak of my experience and share it with women, and if I can help in any situation, that's what I'm here for. My abuse is it's been over the past 10 years, and it's been in 3 different relationships. So I'm a repeat offender of being in abusive relationships, thinking that I can change them and stop the way they're acting and their behaviour and what was causing their abuse. I was hoping that I was going to be their saviour and they would come to their senses. But I'm the one that was fooling myself.
When I was in my early 20s, I met someone whom I thought cared about me. Well, I met him first, and then we spent time together, and I thought he cared about me. Being the age I was, which was in my early 20s, I don't think I was mature enough to know the difference. After maybe a month or so, after getting to know him, 2 to 3 months, we married. That truly was a sign of immaturity on my part, I believe. And after I married him, all hell broke loose. Jealousy, loud talking, degrading. I had no idea they were signs of abuse or potential abuse. That was the beginning of my horrific ordeal.
The first time was when I was 19. It was my first summer back from college, and I was not allowed to live at home because I was dating an African American man. So we got a place together so that I wouldn't have to stay in Richmond while he was in Newport News, which is about an hour away. And that threw us into more of a relationship than we had been in before that point, which brought on a lot of stressors, which he stressed out on me eventually about, and not realizing that I could tell the signs of abuse after I was released from that physically abusive relationship. I was in an emotionally abusive relationship when I was 23, and we were then engaged, and I didn't even realize he'd slowly begin to cut me off from everyone except for my mother, because she was okay for me to spend time with. Nobody else was. And then eventually when I decided I didn't want to be with him anymore, he decided that was unacceptable and held me at gunpoint for 6 hours and raped me after I had left him. So, if you don't pay attention, it'll happen again. It can happen worse.
I was not educated. Ironically, my mother went through a similar ordeal approximately around my age. Who knew? You know? I think she tried to protect me by not talking about it, but in reality, I should have been educated. It was definitely ignorance on my part. I didn't know what to look for. I actually thought that was, wow, he must love me. He's jealous. Wow, he hit me. He must love me. Bull. I did not know the signs. And it's really, a lot of people, first question they ask is, why didn't you leave? What? Easier said than done. It is a situation that's not so easy to escape from. You have to strategize. You have to, I knew eventually I was going to leave, but I had to make a safe exit. He was not having it. Me, leave him? No way.
I think out of everything, I just understood you can overcome anything. There is nothing that you cannot make it through. And that's what stood out the most.
You have to reach out. Don't feel as if you have to depend on that person, because we're all young women. We're stronger. We have each other to depend on, and we don't have to depend on men or the other race or the other males to, basically to lift us up as people. We don't have to be so needy and dependable.
What really hit home for me is speaking to one of the survivors and her just telling me some of the things that was done to her by her abuser. It really made it real. The fact that somebody could do those things to someone is really heartbreaking, and just really shows me that it's really real, and that someone right now is being beaten by their abuser, and they might feel that they can't say anything, and they may feel ashamed, and it's just really sad. We should really do whatever we can do to get the word out to these young people in high schools and in colleges so we can end domestic violence.